Good morning to everyone who has taken their valuable time off to join our morning session of Spash 2020. 2020 has been eventful in so many ways. In the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen a growing trend in violence against healthcare professionals. In the midst of all of this, we have doctors selflessly committing themselves to the ever growing medical burden faced by our community. Today, on this auspicious day, it is my utmost honor and privilege to welcome the saint with the stethoscope, who is none other than Dr. V.P. Gangadharan. His altruistic and humanitarian self has been a ray of shining light and a much needed shoulder of solace to every patient arriving at his doorstep. He is a graduate of the Government Medical College in Kottayam. He completed his postgraduate degree in radiotherapy from AIIMS, Delhi. He completed his MD in internal medicine and DM in medical oncology. He then started his career as a tutor in radiotherapy and medical oncology at the Government Medical College in Thrissur. He then later joined the Regional Cancer Center in Trivandrum as assistant professor and established the Department of Medical Oncology, which is the first of its kind in Kerala. He then underwent bone marrow transplantation training program in the Georgetown University Hospital in Washington, D.C. and the Royal Marsden Hospital in Sutton, UK. He is involved as a teacher, examiner, and a scientific speaker at various universities and research seminars. He has participated as the principal investigator in 38 national and international multi-center clinical trials and has over 40 publications to his credit. He has been endowed with over 60 awards at the state, national, and international level, honoring his medical excellence. He was massively involved in the formation of the much heard Cochin Cancer Society in 2004 by coordinating people who were survivors of cancer or who were family of survivors of cancer. The purpose of this community was to extend cancer care to the needy and underprivileged, since his goal was no patient be deprived of treatment because of money. To be in his presence today is nothing less than a privilege. Sir, on behalf of everyone here at AIIMS Kochi, I'd like to thank you for your service to the society and your contribution to the medical community. I'd like to welcome you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I start now?
Yes, sir.
I'm audible, no? I'm audible. Okay. Thank you. Good morning. For giving me an opportunity to be with you on this fine Sunday morning. Thank you for the nice introduction. I think I'll take you through not theory, but the practical through which I have gone through in my life. Sharing, of course, the few slides from my own life. I think that may be a better discussion on this topic. I'll share my slides with you, okay? Can you see the slides?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay. Happy to introduce my parents because I think they still continue to be an inspiration or inspiration force for me, though they are not with me in this world now. Born to a great parents, I think I dedicate my talk for them today. This is the Chota Dr. Gangadharan with sleepy eyes, chubby boy. I think everyone used to say that he's going to be a lazy boy. I think the prediction was like that. The question I always used to face in many of the interviews were, did you ever, or when did you think of becoming a doctor? I'll say that not even today. I never dreamed of becoming a doctor. My ambition was towards trains. When friends were all reading novels and all, I think I used to read. Probably you may all laugh at me now. I used to read hours and hours with the railway gate because I used to see as which train runs fast, which train has a stop in Coimbatore, which train has to go to Delhi like that. So my ambition in life was to become a guard in a train because I used to feel that very good life because you are guiding a train and with a lot of travel. I used to feel that I should become a guard in my life. And this is a picture drawn by one of my patients who presented me recently because he knew that my ambition was like this. So he has given the name of the train as Ganga Express from Cochin to Tirupur because my childhood days were in Tirupur. Here is a little bit grown up. You know which standard I was at that time? I was in 8th standard at that time. And you know what was my age in 8th standard? I was 11-year-old when I was doing my 8th standard, or 13 years when I was doing my 10th. Because I had not gone through LKG, UKG, first or second standard. I joined straight away to the 3rd standard at the age of 5 years. So you can see me. When I finished my plus or 10th and then plus, I think I was like this, a small boy like this, the smallest maybe in terms of age in the class. So I had to join for my plus two. That was called as pre-degree at that time because it was in the university, not along the schools. So through the college first time. When I went to college, I had a discussion with my dad, and I still remember the two things which he told me at that time. Because I was going to stay in the hostel at that time. He told me, if any point of time you are starting smoking, you should inform me and then start. Like that, I'll always be happy to see that you can go with, your friends who go for drinks, but you should be there sitting with them and should not drink. I think it was a great message. That was enough to tell me that I should not smoke, I should not drink. Till today, I can swear and say that no, I have not done this too. I think a piece of advice given in a totally different style, which influenced me at that point of time. Through my college, so since I was only 15 years when I finished my plus two, I'd say plus two today, I cannot join for any professional course at that time. So I had to join in a prestigious institution in Kerala called as Maharajas College, Cochin, where I think I feel it has given me a very broad perspective about or in my life. So I always used to tell in any forum that you should not join any professional course without doing your graduation in a arts college or science college, because your perspectives and your insights are all different when you're joining. So I want to specify and stress is that you're all going through as if say you go finish off your 10th, you go through the entrance exams, go for it. I mean, after 12th, you go for the entrance exam, go for the profession. But this change just continues. But I think I enjoyed probably the best part of, one of the best part of my college life in Maras College. From there, the probably the turning point starts, because we never had any entrance exam at that time, and our MBBS selection was based on our marks. So I applied. Till that point of time, I didn't have any plans. I just applied. The problem started when I got the selection for MBBS, because what to do? Join my father in my business or going for MBBS? I think father said, whichever way you want to just go. But mother was specific. Mother said, no, I think you should go for MBBS. That is how I started my life in Medical College, Kottayam in the year 1973. I think the best years of, one of the best years of my life again. This was our college group or our batch of 80 students. Many of them, I think, if I project, you will be able to know, because many of them are in Amrita now, holding a very high position, like Dr. Subramanian, who is sitting with me in the front row, your head and neck person. So I think a lot of them, a very good batch, very good batch. In fact, all the batches are very good. You know why? I always try to say why. Because there was a cross section of the society in that batch, every batch, because there was no entrance at that time. And sports persons, athletes, like we had teams like badminton, basket, cricket, everything, which we could compete with the arts and science college of the university, not with the intermediate course. We used to be in that forefront, like zone winners, like that. Athletes, we had national level athletes also at that time along with this. That is how my life went on. That is how I also enjoyed my life. You can see me sitting and playing. I think this is a point where I will start, because I think many of you are hearing are going through this MBBS curriculum now. I think the best part of your main curriculum, but I'm sure that I'll like to quote, which I always used to tell. You should live in the campus and not study alone. You should live in the campus. You should be part of each and every activity in that campus. Then only the life is there. I think in the long run, when you look back, it's not the marks you score for anatomy, it's the mark you score for physiology, the mark you score for your biochemistry that matters. Much more is you learn to be part of the society. And that culture you imbibe from the college days. And there is no other place other than your college, which if you enjoy and live and study, I think teaches you. So my first message is live in the campus and study, and not just study alone. That is what I have gone through, and we all have gone through. Still very, 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 live memories still haunting me. Those 5 years. And I'm out of my MBBS at that time. And along with the MBBS, I think I got one of my precious property in my life. That is my wife. She was my classmate. So I started my life from that point. Dr. Jitatara, she is a MCH, MD Gynec and MCH in neurology, and she is heading the Department of Surgical Oncology now in Lakeshore Hospital. MBBS is over. What next? I think you are all going to have this darkness in front of you. Probably you will think that, yes, I'll prepare for entrance. We didn't have any entrance at that point of time. So after finishing MBBS, what next? That's the next question. Just sheer darkness. You don't know what to do, what to do, what to do. So started preparing for entrance, which was there in the All India Institute in Delhi University and all. And joined for MD radiotherapy in All India Institute of New Delhi. Totally different scenario, because whatever I had learned from my MBS, I think I am in a different world with physics, X-rays, linear accelerators, cobalt machines. I used to feel that I'm out of my track, because whatever I learned during my MBBS is not there. It's all machineries. Till third year. Third year, I started, experiencing and seeing the patients, cancer patients. And that gave me a different, thought process. So I'll start saying that I never wanted to be a doctor. And entering radiotherapy was also by chance only. Till I became third year in radiotherapy, I never ever dreamed of becoming an oncologist also. But when I started my third year, I started seeing patients, cancer patients. That changed my life. I knew that we can bring them back to life, many of them. That is how I completed my radiotherapy at that time in 1984. Then I want to go for medical oncology, but they were not able to take me up, because they said you should have basic qualification in MD medicine. So I came back to Kottayam, where I did my MBBS, did my MD in general medicine, and then had interesting part. The first scooter which I bought was during that period. And you should remember that the stipend I used to get when I was doing my MD medicine was 300 rupees. The first scooter, still remember. I think remember because I had to push this scooter whenever I had to go uphill anywhere. And uphill means doesn't mean that I'm going through a mountain, but little bit uphill is enough. A scooter will not obey me. The first car, it's an ambassador car which I bought for 10,000 rupees. Not second-hand car, maybe a fourth or fifth hand cars. Again, totally disobeying car. But very interesting to remember, because I think that is how we have gone through. From where I went for my DM in Adyar Cancer Institute, Chennai, without a single penny as a stipend for me. By the time I had two children, two boys. So my wife, two boys, and she was working. She was working and earning, and I was probably doing my DM without a single penny being paid as a stipend. 2 years, but the real exposure to the cancer patients and the real exposure to my present, field was in Chennai. Back to only I knew that I was in Trichy for a short spell, then RCC Toronto, where I started my real professional life in medical oncology. At present in Lakeshore Hospital, I just want to start because there should be some platform where I had to start talking to you. So the life starting for me with my two children, wife, and that is how it started. So the topic for I thought I'll discuss for is in my 66 years of life, what I earned and what I learned. Earnings are not in terms of the money I earned, but much more than that, many lives which I feel that they're part of my life now. And many of them feel that I am part of their life. That's what I have earned. I'm sure that all of you are going to go through the same track and earn this, provided you take certain decisions. I'll go through one of them, few of them. I treated, I think, way back in something like 1995, 96. And he had an osteogenic sarcoma, a bone tumor of one of the limbs. I treated him at that time. And a very, very, very rare experience in my life where I went to Qatar and I was taking a class on cancer awareness. So I showed his picture saying that case of osteosarcoma, we didn't amputate him. We could preserve the limb. We gave him chemotherapy and he is back to square one and living happily. To my surprise, gentleman stood up from the last row of that big audience was there and stood up and said that, "Sir, I am here." The person you are showing in that screen, see, I'm here. I'm coming to the stage. He came to the stage and shared the stage with me. A beautiful minutes of my life. I think I can never, never, never forget. And you can see how I was, surprised and how I was enjoying that moment. And all the whole audience stood up in surprise to appreciate. I don't know whether many of you may be knowing him, the person who is standing with me, that male, the gentleman who is standing with me. He was doing a second year MBBS in Medical College, Calcutta, when he had an acute leukemia, again way back in 90s. He's cured of the disease. He did his MBBS, completed his MBBS. And I want to specify and pinpoint that his back to life, who is personality back to life, is not me alone, his classmates. They were all with him, helping him out to come out of the problem. When he was doing his second year, he completed his MBBS, did his MD in general medicine, and he is working as an assistant or associate professor now in Medical College. I think he was in Mancheri last time when I met him, Mancheri Medical College. Married, 2 children, happily living now. Again, the part of my life, and I'm going to be part of their life. A surprise for me because I went to this happened about 2 years back. I visited one of the private hospitals close to Manjeri, where I went specifically to meet one person who is a VIP as far as I am concerned, whom I treated in 1994 when she was doing her final year nursing. Got one limb amputated with a sarcoma and I was going through chemotherapy. So we had to motivate her to continue the profession. She completed her course and now she is working as a head of a cardiac ICU, one of the big private hospitals there. She is somebody who is holding my hand and standing with me. What else you want in life? Just have a rethinking. Another life. He's from Assam. He's from Assam. His father was an employee in FBI in Cochin. So he again had a malignancy and he came for treatment with me or under me. Completed the treatment and when he was going back, I asked him, what do you want to be in future? What's your choice to be? He didn't have any hesitation to say that I want to become a doctor. He did. He is doing his, I think, probably 3rd year now. In one of the medical colleges in Assam. He used to call me, visit me now. I don't think that he needs any introduction from any of the Keralites. But the versatile directors, movie directors, who won a lot of national awards and an actor. He was again part of my life about 12 years back with a malignancy. Could bring him back to life. And that way, I think you could see a lot of beautiful movies like 101 Questions and all, Sakhav and all. I think Innocent doesn't need any introduction again for the Keralites. He again had a malignancy and is going through treatment. And the person with the beard was standing back to other actor Srinivasan is called AB. This is again a very, lively occasion in my life where you can see my photograph. That photograph is being drawn by AB. And Innocent was giving a comment saying that picture is very good. But that Dr. Gangadharan looks very beautiful than the original Dr. Gangadharan. And we are all laughing at that time. Vibrant moments in her life. She's a girl from Kasargod who we treated for an ovarian tumor. Gave back life, a fruitful life, good quality of life, married, children, and living happily. Why I am telling you this, showing them is not individually present them, but telling that they all become part of your life. I know each one of them now. I know each one of them where they are now, what they are now, how they are living, what is their family like. That's the string I think each one of you should get attached by seeing your patients. Not that it's a mechanical job, just sit across the table, prescribe some medicines, and then no, that's not the medical profession. They become part of it. You have to get involved with them. That is where we started the point to say that we started a Cochin Cancer Society, an aim. I think you already had the aim through the initially when they introduced me. And the whole activity started through them, through Cochin Cancer Society. How? And how did the next step happen? I really feel that the doctor should not be within the four walls of a hospital or four walls of a room. He has to enter the society because he is a cross-section of society and he has to be with them. He has to be with them. That is where you are in a different plane. You are in a different plane. They want you. Society is in need of doctors, not for treatment alone. Not for treatment alone. Now you know what is happening now. So enter the society. They will happily accept you. Now you can see, I was speaking in one of the schools in Pioneer. There's a girl sitting in the front row, small girl. She's in the first standard, I think, who participated in that meeting. And at the end, she said, I want to donate my hair to cancer patients. That's the influence you can give to society. And they pay you back, not in terms of money, but in terms of love, not respect, love. It's in terms of love. They all love like you. That is there for each and every one of you who have chosen this profession, this in front of you, this beautiful life. See one of the colleges, jam-packed. They're eager to hear your words. Much more than you see with any of the other. If you organize a musical program, I think you will not have this much number of people. You can see standing on the sides. They all want to hear you. I think a problem what happens is we all tend to work like an office work, like morning from 8 to 3, 8 to 4, 8 to 5, within the walls of the hospital or within your consultation room or in the ward. We don't enter the society. That's a major problem with us. That's why all the problem happens. Society thinks that you are in a different plane and you think that you are in a different plane from this in the society. I think that creates a gap between you and the society. And all the problems that's happening between a doctor and the society is because of this gap. That has to be filled up. And that filling happens only when you enter the society and they want you. Then you are amidst them. And you enjoy your profession much more than sitting and prescribing a drug. That's the message which I want to give you. See now how we are organizing now. Through the Cochin Cancer Society, we got a program called as Communion. This is the first Sunday of February where all the cancer patients who are back to normal, not the pediatric patients, adults, we all meet on that day. You see how the numbers, close to thousands who come on that day. See, the last year, see, we are all enjoying the different programs because they perform. Many of them perform like this. We all dance. We all dance. We all enjoy that day. There are all people who were patients at some point of time. I am in the midst of them and enjoying enjoying the dance. That's enough for you, enough for in your life, in your profession. We have got another day, much more interesting. That's Kalikutam, where all the pediatric patients who are back to life, we all meet. See them. See them. Just a glimpse of this picture is enough to tell you that yes, you have done through, or you have gone through what you should do, what you gain as a doctor. So many of them. That is how you had to be in your profession. I think you enjoy the profession at totally different angle, not in terms of the money you earn. But again, I'm stressing, it's the lives which you get attached to you. That slowly gets expanded as you go higher up in your hierarchy or higher up in your career. And by the time I am now at the age of 66 years, I got a big family with me now, not my children alone. Big family with me now. You should know what they give back to you. You treat them, you give them life. But they give something much more precious than that back to you. See, this is a 4-year-old boy, Jasir, who depicted Dr. Gangadharan. He drew my picture about 2 years back and presented me for my birthday. Beautiful picture. This is Dr. Gangadharan in his mind with that beard. And as age advances, you can see how the picture varies. That is how they keep you in their mind. See, a message from a 6-year-old boy from Bangalore when his father came to me with one of his reports. He has written that I love you so, that you can see that is love towards me, affection towards me in that so, because O is never ending. Krishna from Bangalore. You can see another girl who has tattooed my name and everything in her hand and carrying with me in her mind. Just imagine what else you want. Your position is like this. This is one of the pictures sent by one person because I think she calls me Doctor Uncle. Doctor Uncle, you are with me in my prayer room. I think somebody who reads Malayalam can read this. For my 60th birthday. I think my whole home is studded with all these pictures. I think all around. That gives you, or that gives me an immense pleasure that I became a doctor. I became an oncologist and living. Beautiful moments in life, which again I think a doctor can claim. This is Prashant. Prashant is my patient. He had a leukemia whom I treated about somewhere around 18-20 years back. He's getting married on that day. You know how the marriage happened. He gave his features in the matrimonial, saying that I am so and so. I had a leukemia and I came out of that life. So if anybody wants to marry me, or if anybody is ready to share me with all these problems, you are welcome. And this girl came, knowing fully that he is a cured leukemia patient. when everything was almost on the verge of, getting fixed up, I think the girl's parents felt that no, you should not get married, you should not marry him. So they just retrieved. The girl said no. Girl said we started the whole process fully knowing that he is a cured person. Then I am not ready to come back now or come back from that deal. So the marriage happened. You know what was my position? I was not as a doctor in this marriage. I was there to do the Kanyadan for her, for the marriage. I don't have any daughters. I don't have any daughter at that time. So one of the rare occasion that I enjoyed at that time. See, that's why I'm telling you again and again, saying that a doctor is different. Doctor's life is different, not like any other profession. I think I always compare only two professions, very noble professions. One is a teacher, other is a doctor. Another occasion in my life, which I can never forget, is her marriage. I treated her father. Father is no more. He had a very advanced stomach cancer. He passed away. They all called me and said that I should be there for the marriage. It's a Muslim marriage. I should be there for the marriage, and I should take the position of her father. So I went for the marriage, sat with all the priests in the stage, and performed that. See where I am now, to the level of a parenthood, to the level of a Kanya, where I am doing the Kanyadan. That is what they give back to you. Crores and crores of money cannot replace this. This mindset, this attachment, and this belongingness, which they are giving to you. She had an ambition. She said to her mother, Amma, I want to sit in his lap for 5 minutes. You see how she enjoys that. So in return, what I get back or what I got back is I had daughters like this. Lot of see my brothers and sisters, mothers. Even if my mother is no more, there are a lot of mothers to support you, to be with you. That is a love and affection you get back in your life as a medical profession. So life is now how I enjoy my life and what I go through, what I am today now. I still maintain my friendship with all the group which have gone through my school days till this point of time. You can see my MBBS batchmates which we joined, and this is they are all today. Still maintain. Why I'm stressing the point is I come back to where I started. I said you should learn to live in the campus and not study alone. And that is how you get this group. Very important in your life and in your profession. Because you cannot be alone in any society. Now you can see why we are facing all the problems now is because we feel that we cannot sit in quarantine, or we cannot sit without visiting people. We cannot live without being in the society. That's for us also. So we have to have a group with us. That's our friends. They're all with you. So that friendship, that close knit life is built up when you are in the college. Maintain that. No, I'm sure that you have fights in between you all temporary. We all are going to be in this world together till a long time, because that's your professional life through which you are going through. My family, yes. So I got my friends on one hand and my family is on the hand. There is no life without your family. Again, I got two daughters whom my sons brought to me. My elder son, he's in Singapore. He's a business analyst now after MBA. My second son is just finishing his DA medical oncology in MMC Chennai. Brought two daughters for me. Uma is doing her PhD, and Devika is in your Amrita Institute of Medical Science doing her DM in cardiac anesthesia. My wife and my granddaughter. So my friends on one side, my family in the middle, and much more my professional team. We enjoy. Profession is also enjoying. And how you enjoy the profession, I think it's very simple. It's very simple. Take profession as your passion. We sit in the OPD from morning to evening or even late hours. But I never get fatigued. I never get bored because this is a team which is with me. Even after a hectic day, when we are leaving, we will share some of our thoughts. We'll share some of the movies which I have seen last week. Share some of the games like IPL is happening, like French Open is happening. That's why I'm again stressing the point that it's not professional alone. Profession is only a small square in your big canvas. That is your life. That's there, of course, there. It do have a role. But much more or much is that your other walks of life. Like many of you may be singing, enjoy singing, continue with it. Many of you may be dancers, continue with that. If you go see liking movies, see that. If you are interested in sports, do that. I see movies. You ask me any of the till this COVID happened, I used to go to the theater and see movies. I used to watch many of the games. IPL happening now, French Open final, men's final is happening now today. I love music, hear music, and perform music. I got plenty of time for spending with my patients, my family. It's possible. It's possible, and that should be there if you want to enjoy your life and live a happy life. So the question comes: see, we are all happily dancing, enjoying the life. They are all my team now, my group now. That's why I said my friends, my family, and I will not call them as my patients. They are all part of my life. See, the photograph getting expanded or people getting expanded and getting expanded every year. You are all part of your early part of your profession. I'm sure that only center part may be there now, you. But that is going to get expanded, provided you take a decision that money is not my motive. My motive is going to be a service to society. I want to take my profession as a passion and spend time. And you are going to get this expanded. So the question automatically comes, how do you rate your success in life? Not by making money, not in terms of the car you drive, not in terms of your luxury, but a different plane. Your success in life, I always say, is very easy to define. What is success in life? Success in life is that a person is said to be successful when he can have a very good sleep at night without using any you mean sleeping pills. As simple as that. If you want to sleep happily and peacefully at night, you should do good deeds during daytime. And that is the deed which you are doing as a professional. That is what keeps you going. The next thing immediately was, we don't have time for all this. Right? I am sure that many of you will be thinking, you don't have time for all this. You have time for everything. 24 hours is there for me, for you, or for the Prime Minister or everybody. But how you utilize that 24 hours is important. That's your priority. So there should be a mission in your life. And that mission is your profession. And you choose. Already chosen now. So you have already chosen your mission in life. Make it as a passion in your life. That's enough for it. I think that takes you in a different angle. So my definition is entirely different for a successful man. I define a successful man as a person, especially when you're a doctor. I define saying that if there are people to bring you offerings from temple, from church, and from mosque, offerings to from these places, without you asking for them, I think if you are getting it, then you are a very, very successful man in your life. There is success which I define, and you have got ample opportunities for getting that. Ample in your profession. So that way, I think the definition is very clear. You have decided to become a doctor. So a decision to become what you have decided. The only decision which you have to take is how. How am I going to be? That decision is purely yours. And that is where I think keep up the medical ethics, do proper medicine alone. And the basic concept is, I think I'll define to say that you are only concerned, the only concern is the patient, his well-being. You don't have nothing else in your mind. That can be there. I think you can be a successful doctor also. So enjoy the profession. I think enjoy the first of all. I think you are all third year, fourth year. Enjoy your MBBS curriculum. Enjoy your MBBS curriculum and study. Go forward, be good doctors, and I am sure that this is how somebody has defined me for an angelic train. Angelic train, and he has written a whole poem about knowing again my craze for a train. So again, I'm sure that you all will come up in your life, not only in your professional life, in your family life, personal life, and the personal life get widened and extended to a different screen when all your so-called patients or society is joining hands with you and is part of you. Anyway, thank you and good luck to all of you. And thank you for giving me the opportunity, the Amurda Group first. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sir, we have had such a wonderful experience listening to you. We have been live streaming this on YouTube, so we've had wonderful feedback. So, some of the feedback we received is Dr. Ajit Nambiar, who's our HOD of pathology here at AIMS Kochi. He has called you an inspirational personality. One of our viewers, Girija Devi Babu, says, "We remember many people at the end of our life, but to be remembered by many with love and devotion. That is a real achievement." Sir, we have also recorded some questions for you, if you don't mind answering them.
Usually happy to answer that.
Thank you, sir. So Rahul Radhakrishnan has asked, "Sir, how do you avoid getting emotionally drained when you take care of patients who have a very poor prognosis?"
I think a good question. I think I was in tears, or I would have been very difficult to face when I was starting my career, but not now. You know how? When my first patient died, or when I faced the patient with a poor prognosis for the first time, I used to feel dejected. A negative attitude comes to my mind. But immediately I learned to remember that beyond practicing a science which I have learned, I don't have any superhuman powers. I'm not a god. I'm not a god. So I can only do a practice, a science which I have learned in the proper way. If I start understanding that, I think the immediately it comes to your mind that you are not omnipotent. You are not omnipotent. So success and failure in life becomes part of your life. So you learn to accept both success and defeat the same way, the same platform. That's one point. The next is, see, whenever I lose a patient whom have been with me for quite long, very closely associated, I feel dejected that day. Still it haunts you. But immediately it comes to your mind that there are thousands of lives waiting for you tomorrow. That is something which a driving force for you. And I showed you the communion and Kalikutam which I showed you. That gives me enough energy, enough positivity to run my next year. That's why I tell all of them that unknowingly I drain energy from all of you, come from communion, come from Kalikutam. That is my energy for the next year. I think that is what you even slowly learn and earn as you go up in your career. That's why I said Dr. Gangadharan, which was 30 years back, is not the same Dr. Gangadharan is now. I have learned to accept things like that. That's what I want to tell you.
So next question is from Hamsini Mova. She has asked, Sir, how do you balance between building deep connections with your patients and getting too affected by their losses?
I think that I already gave you the answer. I think the
Yes,
same
sir.
answer which I already gave you. That's an answer.
So it's actually very true what you said, because your relentless enthusiasm and positivity, it has saved countless lives. So I hope you do continue this.
Thank you.
Arshit has asked, Sir, if you could do one thing in your life looking back now, what would it be?
I said that I want a rebirth as a medical oncologist. If God can give me a rebirth, because lot of things are left undid now, or which I am not able to do now. I think I should start from day one of my next life. So if you ask me what is your prayer, I said I'll pray that I should be a medical oncologist my next life also.
You'll save countless lives even then, sir. Our next question is from Bana Yatish Reddy. He has asked, Sir, how did you combine studies and extracurriculars and still manage to get into AIMS Delhi for your postgraduate degree, and that too in radiotherapy?
I think I'll put it another way. How did you manage both your studies and games? I'll put this. How do you manage your games and studies? That's a better question. Because I think my priority always was going for games and my music and all. But I do study along with that. I think it's possible. Quite possible. I don't think that going for games or going or practicing music or that's going to deny you from going for your post graduation in a best interest. No, absolutely no. I think you should go. You should take everything in hand. All the whole. That's why I'm telling you. If you are a dancer, continue to dance. Don't leave it halfway and then go for your professional loan. It's possible. That's why your time management becomes very important. See now, what I tell you, I'll tell you simply. I am preparing for an exam. I'm not going to read from morning till next day morning, going to the 24 hours. No. After some time, I think I'll decide if I'll play what some music for me, and I'll go and enjoy some music, or play. Play for some time and come back. You can prioritize and then go. Yeah, you see, once you have finished your MBBS and then you already have got just enough stuff with you in your mind. It's only cost of application. You know the difference why? Why I'm telling you why. Now think of people who just sit down and read, study, read and go. They may be scoring very high marks, toppers in anatomy, toppers in biochemistry, first rank in the college, first rank in the university. 15 years from that day, they will think that what I have earned during my college days, I learned about I have learned some anatomy, but I can look back and say MBBS I enjoyed. I really enjoyed. MD I have fully enjoyed. School days double enjoyment. So I had nothing to say that my life was you mean useless, fruitless, or boring at any point of time. That's why I'm telling you, every second, every minute, you should enjoy life. That enjoyment is not by smoking, not by drinks, not by leather. You have got thousands of good ways to enjoy your life. You ask me now. You tell me which some of the dialogues and tell me which movie it is. I can tell you. I can tell you which is movies. And you ask me which of Mohanlal's Mammuti's movies you like. I'll say these are the movies I like. You ask me who was sent out of you mean the last tennis match because he hit a lineman. I can tell you. I can tell you. And I can tell you who are all the good singers or what are the good songs of S.P. Balasubramaniam. I think I can tell you. That is life. There's no life with medicine alone, or MBBS alone, or your MD alone, with your DM alone. You should have everything in your hand. Your family should be there. They should be with you. They should enjoy. That you have plenty of time to be for all this. That's why I said preparing for an entrance, preparing for your plus two is not the final end point. I put it in a different way. How many years you live? 65 years, 70 years. Out of that, first 25 to 30 years are your life is for preparing for you to live for the next 20 to 25 years. For the livelihood of your next 25 years, 30 years. The last 10 years, 15 years, your life is over. You are counting down. So what you live is only for about 20, 25 years in your life. At that 25 years, you are preparing. For the 25 years, preparing. That preparation should also be part of your life. If you can think that way, every day in your life is a beautiful day, provided you can make it beautiful. And that decision is yours. Yours. That's why I said, enjoy profession, enjoy life. Otherwise, no life. There's no life.
Our next question is from John M. Joseph. He has asked, how has the COVID-19 pandemic affected your immunocompromised patients?
I think again a question. I used to put it across in a different way. My patients, that means immunocompromised patients, we have already advised them to do all the do's and don'ts which should be against COVID. So if somebody's on chemotherapy, we would have already told them that you have to be careful. You should try to be in quarantine as long as possible. Try to avoid public gatherings. Use mask. Keep cleanliness of the hands, and avoid food from the fridge. Like that, so automatically they are already prepared to face any COVID-like infection, even if there is no COVID. Of course, there's a twofold increased risk of contracting the disease as well as some of the complications, but not to get scared, at all. And I used to put in a different way and tell that there is a much more stronger enemy against whom you are fighting. That's cancer. COVID is not that strong an enemy. So cancer may even tell COVID, you go off because we will fight. And then if you want to join me, you join, otherwise you go off. Like that. So go in that spirit so that there's nothing to be scary for them. Yes, they have to be careful. So we are giving them a sufficient instruction to be. Beyond that, I don't think that it is scary at all.
Our next question is from Evan Sivi. He has asked, sir, how does one stay consistent and connect to so many patients from all these years of service?
There's a link which is established, maybe much more broader than Zoom. I think that is how it goes. And I think because I just kept my phone outside. Now, if I go and see that phone, there'll be at least 15, 20 messages, 15, 20 calls from from all my, I will not call them as my patients. They are all my belongings. You have to communicate with them. You're coming. And you know what's a very interesting for you? Yeah, this is 101 rupees lying in front of my table today morning. You know what this is? One of my patient now was my patient. She is going to get married on 22nd of this month. So she met me today morning. This is the dashuna which she has given me, 101 rupees. Plus, I mean, also we call it Vitla Park and all. And with this, she is giving me. She has come all the way to me and my wife saying that I'm entering a life and I want your blessings. This happens for every patient. So they call me. If there's an examination tomorrow, they'll call me uncle or whichever may they call me. I want a best of luck from you. They'll call you and tell that today is my birthday. I want a happy birthday wishes from you. So that link happens. And so that she said I had to be there for the marriage on that day. And if there's any chance, I'll be going there. I'll be going there, just attend and come back. I'll be happy to go and attend this marriage much more than attending any of the celebrities' marriage, because there's a belongingness if I go there, and that way this connection is going on. I think I'll ask you, how do you maintain a connection with your son and daughter when they are not with you in Cochin? You need not have to see them every day. You need not have to even talk to them every day, but there's a link between you and your son, your daughter, your wife, your mother, your father. That link you just expand to your so-called patients. That's enough for you. I think you have got ample number of wires in you which can give an extension to all of them.
Correct, sir. Sir, I thank you for your time today. Our principal, he has even joined us virtually. So I'd like to welcome our dear principal, Dr. Colonel Vishal Marvaha.
Thank you.
Can you see me, Vendrella?
Yes, sir, we can see you. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, good morning. And it was, I must thank Professor Gangadharan for his, wonderful, I would say, journey and experiences, which he shared with us. Actually, I think what it really comes to is like, you have to have passion for your subject. And, the way he was mentioning, to treating the patients as your family, I think it's very important, because if you are going to be dispassionate in management, I don't think you will really be very, very happy as you go on in life.
True.
And I think the medical profession is beyond, I'm very sure with your IQ, most of you could have become chartered accountants or civil services and all. I'm sure all that is possible, but you have chosen this line. So there is definitely a vision which all the students who are watching this today are, having. And so I think that's something we need to learn from Dr. Gangadharan. And he was mentioning about effective time management, which is so important. You should have time. You should prioritize your time. He was, mentioning. You can do it beautifully, actually. And you see, you should have love. Like, if you won't have love for the subject, there's no point in going for that subject. If you don't like students and you're not very much concerned about student welfare, you should not a very good idea becoming principal of a college. Because as I would say, for me, it's very important that whatever the student tells you, like I feel whenever sometimes whenever you talk, whenever I feel I'm going low, I would definitely link with a student, because immediately I know my energy level, my everything will, back to normal. So that's very important. Like what sir was mentioning, that, I was also the, over the, period of time, so many patients have entered his life, and, his family has grown bigger. So I think there's a lot to learn from Professor Gangadharan. He is a legendary doctor, and we are all aware, what type of work he has done, and he has been a trendsetter, and he is, he's a huge role model for all of us, and including me, because we all know that that is the way to go. And so I thank him on behalf of the large Amrita family. I am reminded of a quote by Mata Amritanandamayi. I don't remember the exact words right now, but you know what it says is that even when you are dying, you know, you should raise your arms to help others. So I think in that, I think Professor Gangadharan is a, you know, exemplary doctor and role model, and he has, you know, sort of his life is an example. Like Mahatma Gandhi, if you see, he came in back to India in 1915, and from 1915 to 48, you see, 33 years, we all know what difference the Mahatma made to the country. So I think and he was not somebody with riches, or, you know, he used to have one cloth, and he attended the second round table conference with, you know, where the people were seeing that, you know, he's wearing one piece cloth. So you see, it is important that your life should be meaningful. And I think that's something we need to take from Professor Gangadharan, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Dr. Gangadharan sir, Dr. Colonel Vishal Marwah, he is the true driving force behind this conference. So I'd also like to thank Vishal sir. To express our heartfelt gratitude, I'd like to call Andrea Susan Albi of 2017 MBBS batch to express the vote of thanks.
Respected Dr. Gangadharan sir, Dr. Vishal Marwah sir, and all the valued listeners taking part in this webinar. It is indeed my honor to have been asked to express my vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of the entire SPASH committee and crew members, would like to extend my hearty vote of thanks to Dr. Gangadharan sir. Thank you, sir, for taking time off your busy schedule. Sir, you have been the beacon of light to many people out here. You have touched their families and made their lives better. Thank you, sir, for being here with us. It has been an honor to have you here. Your words have inspired all of us. I would also like to thank our very own principal, Dr. Colonel Vishal Marwah, sir. Thank you, sir, for being a pillar of support to each and every one of us here at AIMS Kochi. Thank you for your relentless support, always inspiring us to push off our limits. An event like this cannot happen without the SPASH committee. It requires a lot of planning and a bird's eye details for vision. We have been fortunate to have a group of very dedicated and motivated students. Special thanks to Advait A.R., Srikant Srikumar, Ananja Jain for their support. I cannot thank everyone else enough. Thank you for being here with us. It has been a great pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks.